Friends, hello and welcome on techguruspeaks.com. Today I would like to describe one of the important data structures in Python, that is called Python dictionary. A dictionary in Python is a data structure which is unordered and mutable. That means it can be modified after being created and it is indexed. Every item or element in a key is a key value pair and is denoted by key colon value. In this form, the key value pair is basically denoted. Dictionaries are written using curly brackets. They are optimized to retrieve values when the keys are known, while values can be of any data type and can be repeated. One of the most important feature of data, like if it is placed in the form of dictionary, is that the keys must be of immutable type. That means it cannot be modified, which means it will be string, number or tuple with immutable elements, and the keys must be unique. That is the most important feature of keys in Python dictionary. So in that way, the different properties of the Python dictionaries are specified. Now I am going to make use of these concepts by using programming, and for programming I'll be using Spyder IDE, which is one of the most popular IDEs for Python programming. So let's move to the Spyder for demonstration. Like the earlier days, again I'll be using IPython console for demonstration of Python dictionaries. First I am going to create dictionary for demonstration purpose. Say for example, I am going to create a simple dictionary for employees in an organization. Suppose it is named emp underscore dict. So it is having, say for example, only three values, say, and each of the item is basically represented in the form of a key value pair. So for the first element, 10 is the key and Omar is the value. Now for the second element or item, 20 is the key and Akbar is the value. For the third one, 30 is the key and Anthony is the value. So, so in that way I have defined a dictionary for employees, and it is to be defined using a curly braces, and all of the elements or items in the dictionary will be of the form that is key colon value. That means it is represented by the key value pair. So now I am pressing enter. That means the statement is executed and it was successful. So if I am trying to print this one, so it will be showing the values correctly. So that means the execution was successful. So it is showing. If I am going to print it by using the print function, that will be shown. That is the idea to be employed here. Now I would like to give you another example that is basically related to mixed dictionary. Say for example, it is having different types of data grouped together. So name is the key and Azad is the value here. And like the previous example, each of the elements or items in the dictionary are separated by comma. Then we can have a numeric key value, so that is 100, and it will be having a list that will having a number of values as the values. Okay, so say for example I am having here say 3 values. So for this key 100 I am having 3 values. So now I would like to close it. So it was successful. Now I would like to print it whether it was okay or not. So it is showing the result correctly. Now we can have an empty dictionary also. So that will be created by using a pair of curly braces, and there is no element in it, as you can see it. So it is showing. Now I am going to create say a particular dictionary by using the DICT constructor. Okay, so like the list, tuple and set, there is also a constructor for creating dictionary. So that can be done by using DICT constructor. Say for example it is named student underscore DICT, say for example. So now I am going to make use of the DICT constructor. So it is having some values. Say for example I am having values like say 101, that is a key, and it must be specified within a pair of curly braces. Say it is the value, then comes another key that is 102, then comes another value, I would like to create another element that is having the key as 103. Okay, so in that way I have specified the elements in the dictionary. Okay, so now I am going to execute this statement. So it's okay, let's check it. So it is showing the result correctly. Okay, so by using the DICT constructor I have been able to create the dictionary, and the execution of the previous statement was successful, and the result also proves this. Now I am going to make the same kind of dictionary by using a different kind of concept where each element will be written as a pair. I will be using the DICT constructor, but here the earlier statement will be written in a different way. Like the element will now be written as a pair. So in this particular case, I will be thinking that I am having a list basically, like instead of closing brace, like curly brace, basically opening and like the opening and closing brace, that is called the curly brace, basically is getting replaced by the square bracket. Now that will be considered as a list, and each of the element will be coming in the form of a pair here, like this. So the key value pair will be coming as a pair. Okay, and that is considered to be a, that means each of the elements are considered to be a part of the list itself. Okay, now I am going to execute this statement. Actually there is a syntax error because I cannot write here colon. Instead I will be writing here comma only. So this syntax is basically using comma, not the colon. Okay, like the earlier case. So that thing is also being checked here, so you can now understand. So it's okay now. So remember that you cannot use a colon while you are trying to create a dictionary by means of key value pair. That means each of the element will be coming as a pair. In that particular example you have to write them within a square bracket, that is it will be written like a say elements of a list, and you have to provide each of them, like each of the element as a basically tuple, like the key value pair will be considered as a tuple. So in that way it can be defined. So that is the idea to be employed. So it is showing the same result that we got earlier, like in the previous case. Basically this example and this example, they are basically doing the same thing. They are creating the dictionary by using the DICT constructor, but the techniques that will be followed in both the cases are basically different. Okay, it is more straightforward, like the normal way we are following here, because the dictionary can be considered as a number of elements to be placed inside a curly brackets, but here we are using the concept of list, while the list elements are basically tuple. So in that way it will be considered as a part of key value pair. Clear? So each element will come as a pair. So that is the idea of creating dictionary. Now I would like to access elements of a dictionary. How can you access the elements of a dictionary? Say for example, I would like to access, first I need to show what is the contents of the dictionary. So it is the contents of the dictionary. Now suppose I would like to access, for example, this value which is having the key 20. Okay, so now I will be writing here the dictionary name and the square bracket, that is for indexing purpose. Within square bracket I will be mentioning the key, so it will be giving you the value. So using the key you can access the corresponding value. Now I am going to have the same kind of result by using the get method. Like instead of using the index, now I will be using here the get method. Say for example, okay, so by using the get method, which is a member of the dictionary, we can access the value providing that we are having the key value being specified. So that is the thing we are doing here. Okay, now I am going to change the element of a dictionary by using the assignment operator. Obviously it is permitted in Python. So let's check it. Say for example, first I will be showing you the actual dictionary. Now I am going to change, say for example, the second element. Like suppose I will be replacing that name Akbar by, say for example, Babur. So how can you do it? So here you have to write the corresponding key value. So what is the key value? 20. So suppose it is replacing the value Akbar by Babur. Okay, so now I am executing the statement. So it was successful. Now I would like to print it. So you can check here, Akbar is getting replaced by Babur. So in that way we can change the element of a dictionary using the assignment operator. Now I will be changing the value again. Okay, so in that way it can be checked. Now I would like to check whether a particular element is present in a dictionary or not. Okay, say for example, I am having an item, say for example 30. Now I am going to check whether this item is present in this dictionary or not. So that can be written by using if else statement. It is quite simple. So just I'll be writing a simple statement to check whether it is present or absent. So if it is there, it will be showing the result present, otherwise it will be showing the result as absent. It's a simple logic. So I'll be writing it. So remember, the value is basically 30, which is a particular key value of the element, say 30 colon Antony. That is 30 is the key and Antony is the value. So that is present in the dictionary. So that the result proves this. Okay. Now I would like to change the item. Suppose the item is 50, which is not, that means I mean to say this key value is not present in the dictionary. Here, now I would like to execute the same statement again, and it is showing absent. That means if the key value is not present in the list, it is basically shown by the result. That means it is absent in the dictionary. Now I am going to make use of for loop to access different keys and values in the dictionary. So first I'll be using the for in loop to test it. Okay, but before applying the for loop, just have a look at it. What are the elements in the dictionary? So it is basically regarding the employees of an organization, and I have taken only three elements here. 10 is the employee ID, and the next value is the name. Say 10 is basically key and Omar is basically the value. So the ID and the name is shown by the key value pair. Similarly, 20 is the key value, Akbar is the value. Okay, 30 is the key and Anthony is the value. So that is basically the idea of ID and names here for a particular organization that is having a number of employees. So now I would like to print the keys here by using the for loop. So basically I am going to use the for in loop. So I need to maintain the proper indentation, otherwise it will not work. So I can print the keys in that way. Okay, in order to print the values, I can write here the dictionary name, and within index I have to place the variable. Okay, like it is denoted by t. So now it is showing the values. Now if I am going to print them, I mean to say I would like to print the keys and values at the same time. What is to be done? So I'll be writing here t comma emp underscore dict within third bracket t. That is, the key is t and the value is emp underscore dict within third bracket t. So in that way I can print the key and value at the same time. Okay, so that is shown over here. Okay, so that is the idea. Now there is an alternate way to print the values. Say for example, I can write here so values is basically a method within the dictionary. It is just taking care of the values only. So it is shown over, okay, the console. So that is the idea. So in that we can use the values method to show the values. Now I would like to make use of the items method. Okay, and by using this method we can have the key and value pair at the same time, but here the construct of the loop is quite different. Say for example, k is indicating the key and v is indicating the value. So for k dot k comma v in emp underscore dic, there is a dictionary name dot items. Remember the name of the method is here items. Okay, so now I'll be pressing colon for proper indentation. So now it will be written in a different way, like k comma v, and here I can also provide a separator, like it is shown by the print function, the syntax of the print function showing this. So now I would like to provide a separator like this, so it will become easier for you to understand what is the key and what is the value. So now I will be using a separator like this. Okay, so in that way the key and the corresponding value will be shown by using the separator symbol. So basically it is the separator symbol. Okay, so it is shown over here. Okay, so I think in that way you can format the output. So 10 is the key and Amor is the value, 20 is the key, Akbar is the value, 30 is the key and Anthony is the value. So in that way we can access different keys and their corresponding values in a dictionary. Now I would like to check with what is the length of a particular dictionary. So how can you get the length of a particular dictionary? That you can check here. Say for example, by using the length method. So by using the length method you can check what is the number of elements present in the dictionary. So it is showing 3, that means it is having 3 elements and each of the element is coming in the form of key value pair. Remember it. Okay, so now I would like to add some elements to a dictionary. So for adding elements to a dictionary I can use the assignment operator, or I can use the update method. Okay, so now I would like to add some elements to a dictionary by using the assignment operator as well as the update method. First I will be showing you the use of assignment operator. Say for example, what is the name of the dictionary here that is named emp underscore dict. Now I'll be writing here, say, a particular key value that is 40, and say for example the name is basically, say for example, Parshi, that is the value here. Okay, so in that way you can add a new value. So just check it whether it is now coming in the list or not. Yes, it has been added. Now I would like to add another element to the dictionary by using the update method. Okay, so now I would like to apply the update method on the given dictionary. So it is named update. So within bracket, that means this is a parenthesis for the method. Now I'll be writing here basically a key value pair. Say for example it is 50 colon, say the value is basically, say for example, stain. So it is a new value, key value pair to be added. Okay, new element for the dictionary. So it's done, that means the execution was successful. So the result also proves this. So by using the assignment operator or by using the update method, I can add new values to the, sorry, new elements to the dictionary, and each of the element will be having the key value pair. Remember it. Now I would like to remove elements from our dictionary. In order to remove elements from our dictionary, we can either use the pop method, which removes element with the specified key name, or we can use the pop item method, which removes the last inserted element. Okay, so just have a look at it. Now I'll be using this. Say for example, I would like to remove, say for example, the element that is having the key as 40. Okay, so now I am going to apply this. Okay, so just have a look at it whether it has been changed. Yes, the element with the key 40 and value Parsi is not there. It has been deleted by applying pop method. Now I am going to apply the pop item method on it. So it is named pop item. So here you don't have to specify any key value because it will automatically deleting the last element to be inserted in the dictionary. So it is basically deleting this one here. Okay, because it is the newest element to be inserted here. So now I would like to check whether it has been updated. I mean to say the dictionary is getting updated or not after applying the pop function being applied, pop and pop item. Now I can use the del keyword to delete the specific element using its key. Okay, say for example I can use here the del keyword to remove the, say, element that is having the key as 20. So it has been deleted. Now let's check it. So it is showing only two values. The element with the key 20 and value as Akbar is getting deleted. Now by using the del keyword you can also remove a dictionary. Okay, that is also we can check here. Okay, so but after applying this operation, if I am going to print it, so it will be showing you error because it is not there, it has been deleted. So now I would like to print another dictionary which was created earlier. So now, say for example, I would like to sort the keys in a dictionary. So how can you apply the sorting technique on a dictionary with respect to the keys? So here I am going to use the sorted method. Okay, so by using the sorted method, I can sort the keys in a dictionary. So the name of the method is sorted, SORTED. So within bracket I would like to provide the name of the, that is a variable name that is representing the dictionary here. So you can check it because the keys are now sorted. Now I would like to copy the contents of a dictionary to another using the copy method. Say for example, I am having the student underscore DICT as the dictionary. Now I would like to copy its contents to another dictionary that is named STUD underscore DICT. So for doing this, first I need to mention the name of the dictionary whose elements I am going to copy here by applying the copy method. So now I have done it. Now I would like to check whether it's working fine or not. Yes, it has been copied, so there is no problem. The result is okay. Now I would like to clear the elements of the dictionary. So there is a method named clear by applying which you can make the dictionary empty. So the method name is clear here. So now I am going to print the result. So it is showing an empty dictionary. So in that way, different operations on a dictionary can be applied. I can create a dictionary, I can access the elements of a dictionary because it is indexed. Okay, so it can have the key which can be used as an index to find the corresponding value. Remember that a dictionary is basically specified within a pair of curly braces. That is the idea. Now you can perform addition operation, deletion operation on a dictionary. You can access the key and values at the same time by using different methods like items. You can also get the values like using the values method. You can clear the contents of the dictionary. You can delete the entire dictionary. Several operations can be applied on the dictionary. So I hope that you have understood the logic of using dictionary in Python. I also hope that you thoroughly watched this video that was showing the demonstration of Python dictionary. Now I'll be requesting you to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have liked my video, and here comes my URL of the website. You can find lots of useful information here, and this is my official mail ID. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.